Right guys, welcome back to a new video on the Mini, part 4 in the series. So on this one, if you've been watching the videos, you'll see that I want to paint the bonnet because it's had some graphics on it that have sort of discoloured it in the middle. It just sticks out like a sore thumb. So whilst I've been at it, like I said, looking around it, sorry, notice there's a little dent here, and there's also a bit underneath this light here that's a bit out of shape. Now that's a bit awkward because from behind it's got two skins, so can't really get into it from behind, so I might end up grinding that out and pulling it from the front, and also the back bumper. Now I'm not going to get to do every single dent on it, but here's just a little thing for you to pay attention to when you go and have a look at cars. So I said I'm going to do this one because you can see that it's had a little bit of a bump in the back. Now they are like stress cracks, so it's just where the plastics flex more than the paint wanted to, so the paint ends up splitting. It's relatively easy to fix, but obviously to paint it I've got to take the sticker off. So I thought, well, I'll pull the sticker off. Well, sometimes things can hide things. In my case, look at that. Two whacking great holes in the back of the bumper. Now that looks to me like it's had something stuck to it that's been pulled out, or what, I don't know. It's very uniform, and there's nothing on the bumper reinforcer behind the bumper that can cause that. So yeah, it's a bit of a strange one, but we'll get it prepped and we'll get some fiberglass in there. So as always, I'll drop you onto time lapse just while I remove trims. Stickers got to come off, washer jets are going to come out. I will leave the chrome grill in the front because they're a nightmare and they have a tendency to break, and I'll take the badge off as well. So I'll get chopping away at it. Just look at the difference in the paint, where the stickers have been, and the way that the graphics have discoloured it, because I've had my chips out to match the paint and this is the actual colour. So I don't really know what's caused that and why it's caused discoloration, whether some of the pigment from the black has gone into the paint. I don't know what's caused it, but it's a massive difference. But this is why you see a lot of these Minis where people have tried to take the graphics off the bonnet and they just don't work. They end up having to put new graphics back on. I mean, I'm going to paint this one anyway, and then we'll put some more graphics back on the bonnet just to keep it in keeping with how the car should look. But yeah, I just thought I'd point that out. So I'm just going to start getting it taped up. Just going to go over it with some tar and glue remover just to make sure there's no glue left on the bonnet, and then I'll get to prepping it. Right, that's all my glue off and everything ready to go. So this damage that's here, it's an easy repair, but an awkward one, because like I said, with the inner skin, the inner skin sort of folds out. So if I try and hit that to take this dent out, essentially what's going to happen is I'm going to damage all the metal on the inside. So instead, what I'm going to do is get my little zippy tool. So this is designed to take the paint off without damaging the metal. I'm just going to clean it all up around here so that I can use my like a spot welder, so that I can just stick to that and then I can pull it without having to hit it with a hammer. The other way could have been to do it with the hammer and dolly from the backside, but again, because of this lip here, if I try and hit that, I'm going to end up folding that round, and it's not a folded round lip, it actually sticks out. So yeah, I'm going to do it this way. Whilst it's a bit more faff, it's not going to damage anything else whilst trying to fix it. So I'll get this cleaned up and then we'll get the tools out and start getting it stuck, all the spot welders stuck to it. So it just leaves a nice metal surface to work like that, basically. So this is my machine. It's an old one now, I've had it a lot of years. Trusty old faithful thing. And all we do with it, got a contact, got a slide hammer built into it. Now you can use different pins, so sometimes I use squiggly wire, sometimes I use like we call them keys, where you bond them on, you put a metal bar through it and you can get a bigger pull on it. But hopefully this one will be enough. Just work our way across. Try and get contact first, that's a good idea. Right. Yeah, you can see this is going to be a pain in the backside already. There's too much flex in it. Right. Yeah, it's going to be a faff just because of how flexible it is. Right, I'll drop it onto time lapse because it's going to take a while because of how much flex I've got in the bumper, in the bonnet, sorry. So with that pulled, it's a bit better of a shape to the bumper now. So I'm just going to sand down the little dent there. Just go over this with a 120 on the DA, and we'll just give it, it's only going to need a light skimmer filler on there, so we'll just get that done. Right, whilst we're just waiting for that bonnet to set up, I'll just do the same thing here. Still got the 120 on. Just going to ground it back a little bit. Just get a sticker left on there as well. Just wipe that away. Right, just mix up some filler. Right, so the filler I'm going to use on this one is different to the bonnet. So the one I've used on the bonnet is basically, it's like a glaze, so it's a really, really fine filler. As this one is actually a filler that's fiberglass infused. So rather than the old fiberglass, as many of you will know, it's like a red resin in it with a load of fiberglass, horrible stuff. This one's not much better, it's just much easier to work with. So if you look at it, it's basically just fiberglass infused. So when it bridges these holes, I know it's going to bridge them and they'll be solid. I'm not going to have to worry about the filler falling out. It's just not the easiest or nicest stuff. A bit like the old fiberglass, it's just not the easiest to work with. Take off the excess that I don't need. And the added benefit of this one as well is this sets up like filler, like normal everyday filler, so it goes off a lot quicker, much easier to work with. Right, we'll jump back to the front, get the bodywork done that, and then we'll come back and get this one done. Right, back on the front. So, just going to go back in with my 120 again, just lightly, just to put the initial shape in, and then I'm going to switch to a block. So, again, because this filler's so fine, it really doesn't take much to work with at all. Right, I'm just going to run a blade round the inside here, just to trim off the excess. Like so. Right, and then I've got a charcoal pad. Just put a bit of charcoal over it so you can see where you're at. And then basically just go over it with a block. So, I'm probably going to have to go over this with another, just a light skim. Depending on what it feels like, I might, yeah, I'll get just another light skim over that bit there. You see, I've just got a little bit of a low spot there. So, another light go over will get that. And then on this one here, see if you can see it. Now this one shouldn't need any more. That's it. So then we're going to go over that again. I'm going to go over the whole bonnet with a 800. And then we'll prime this, prime that, a bit more filler on there, and then we'll basically get it prepped for paint. So I'm going to do another quick skim off this, don't need to do it on camera, we'll sort of see what we're doing with it, and I'll jump onto that back bumper and we'll get that done as well. We're at that point, let's get some colour on it. So my repair's done. Going to show you the back as well. That's it, we're all taped up, we're all ready to go. Paint's in the gun, so I'm going to get the fan on and get some colour down on it. Now this bit might be a bit noisy because of the fan, but I'm going to try and do it in real time. I've got my tack cloths ready to go. Tack cloth painted. So this just dust stuck to it. Well, that's kind of the best, if you like. Right, so that was the first coat. It's dry nice now. So the second coat, so the first coat's like a heavier coat, so I use a water-based paint. And the first coat's a heavier coat. I only have to do 2 coats. And this second coat is more of it's like an orientation coat, a half coat, you know, lots of different people call it different things, but it is what it is. So yeah, I'm just going to get this coat down, and then we'll leave it to dry for a bit, and then we can get on and put some clear down on it. So clear coat's in the gun, let's make it shiny. back to it. Right, that's 2 coats of lacquer down. So I'm going to leave it there, leave it overnight now, and let it dry, and just flat and polish it back. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll see that I like to completely flat them back and polish them. It's just how I like to do it. It's not a necessity to do it that way, but that's how I like to do it. So that's how I'm going to do it, and then we can get to polishing the rest of the car as well. So that brings me to the end of the paintwork for that one. So as always guys, if you've enjoyed watching it, give us a thumbs up, like, share and subscribe if you haven't already, and that's it for that one. So this is part 4 done. The next one we'll start doing is just finalising the car, getting it cleaned up, get the valet done, get it looking nice and shiny, and basically do the final prep before we get it ready for sale. I've got to get it ready for an MOT as well. So yeah, anyway, in the next one I'll get this one balloted up and we'll give it a nice old polish up, and it's done. So thanks for watching guys, see you next time.